So was that? All right, the court, you ready, Paul? Court will call cause number B20-217, 274, 443, and 444. The state of Texas versus Tammy Galloway Gardner. For purposes of, it looks like arraignment on the 21 cases and pretrial on the other 2 cases. What say the parties?
State's ready. Judge, the last I heard is that Carly Cannell was not able to be present and that somebody from her office was going to be able to respond for her. I've not talked to Melinda Luna.
Judge, I'm happy to step in for Ms. Cannell, although it is sort of on the fly. To my knowledge, there was nothing that was set to happen from Ms. Cannell.
Just the quick update is that she was set for a plea, and then I think that she did something that resulted for her to be hospitalized. She then picked up the FTAs, and then she was arrested, and that's where we are today.
I turned myself in, Your Honor.
Okay, and frankly, it looks like Miss Luna was maybe appointed to the 21 cases,
Yes,
but
sir.
shouldn't have. It should have gone to the PDO.
Yes, sir.
So I know you may not necessarily be the lead attorney, Joe. You're just helping us out here today, but if y'all can contact Miss Luna and try to get that resolved too, that will help with the confusion.
That's no problem, Judge. I'll make a note of that.
Thank you. All right, so do we just need to set it for the next arraignment pretrial, or we have?
I think that's, yes, Judge, where everybody's all on board.
That will work on the PDO and Judge.
All right, Ms. Gardner, we will see you back on October 18th, and you should hear from your attorneys, and they're going to resolve any confusion, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on.
That was. There you go. Thank you. It looks like Alaniz is next.
Thank you, Judge. I need all the knees.
Good day.
How are you, Mr. Alaniz? Are we doing a plea with an extension today?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Ready? Court will call cause number B18-543, State of Texas versus Trinidad Alaniz III. For purposes of an agreed plea, what say the parties?
State's ready.
Fence is ready.
First document we need to go through is the joint request for a plea or sentencing by video conference. Appears to be signed by all parties. Mr. Alaniz, do you have any objection to proceeding today by video conference?
No, sir.
Mr. Alaniz, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Plea of True to State's Motion to Revoke.
True.
Did you have a chance to go through that document with your attorney?
Yes, I signed the papers. He said something about me being reinstated for 7 years, 2 years added to my 5 years.
Let me go through the basic admonishments and then we'll get to that point, okay? So did you have an opportunity to go through these documents with your attorney?
Well, he just handed over the papers and he was telling me what to sign and say true to the motion to revoke, that that was gonna be reinstated.
Mr. Alaniz, listen to me carefully and only answer the question I'm asking you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a chance to go through these documents with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand these documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have a contested hearing before the court today?
Yes, sir. True.
Do you understand that you have a right for your attorney to cross-examine the state's witnesses and to call your own witnesses?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you're waiving those rights today?
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, do you understand that you have a right to remain silent? Nobody can require you to testify against yourself, but you can in fact waive that right.
Yes, sir.
At the bottom of page 1, it purports to have your signature. Is that your signature?
That's your signature.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by signing this document with the stipulation of evidence in it, that it's just like you stood up here before the court, raised your hand and said, I did what the state's accused me of doing?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like your client understands his rights, waivers, and admonishments?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Alaniz, there's a document entitled State's Exhibit A that contains the allegations that were made against you in the state's motion to revoke. It's a 2-page document. Did you have a chance to go through that document with your attorney?
Sir.
Mr. Ferguson, do you know if you went through that document with your client? Because I don't find it in the packet.
Which one is it, Your Honor?
It's from the motion to revoke. It's the allegation document. It shows the allegations that were made against him.
I have gone through the allegations with my client, Your Honor. Let me see, I'm pretty sure I turned them all in.
Mr. Alanese, did you have a chance to go through the motion to revoke with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that motion to revoke?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand all the allegations that the state made against you?
Yes, sir.
And do you plead true or not true?
True.
Are you pleading true freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading true because they are true and for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
Is there a plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The parties have agreed to extend the probation for 2 years. And the new date of termination will be August 20th of 2023, with all other conditions remaining in full effect.
Mr. Ferguson?
That is correct, Your Honor. And for the court's information, my client did pay all of his outstanding balances, his fine, court costs, all of those matters.
Mr. Alanese, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the court to follow that plea agreement?
Yes, sir. True. Yes, sir.
Court will find sufficient evidence to enter a finding of true the state's motion to revoke. Pursuant to your plea agreement, will continue on your probation, will extend your probation for a period of 2 years to expire on August 20th of 2023. You're going to have additional court costs in the amount of $60, additional attorney's fees in the amount of $350. Do you have any questions on your judgment?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Alanese. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That, with that, that was the only one I had since we passed all of my others. May I be excused?
You may. Thank you, Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you very much, Judge. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. You
Thanks,
too.
Brett. Judge, if I can jump in, I think we're heading to page 3, and I've just received word that Devin Pruneda is going to file waivers, and so we're all good on that. He's contacted our office and is waiving his appearance, and we'll just reset it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
We don't need Prunetta?
We do not. So that puts us on to page 4 with Mr. Stephen Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if it's necessary, I have his wife available to give testimony about where he would live if he's released. I could provide her with the Zoom hearing so she could log on. Should I do that?
If you want to present her, because it's now or never.
Okay.
Don't be wet, I just cleaned it. So.
Court will call cause number B21-464 and 465, the state of Texas versus Stephen Gonzalez. For purposes of arraignment, what say the parties?
State's ready.
Defense is present and ready, Your Honor.
Have you had an opportunity to go through both indictments with your client?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Have you had an opportunity to go through both indictments with your client?
I have, Judge.
Are the identifiers true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Judge.
Does your client wish to have either indictment read in open court?
No, Your Honor.
And he enters pleas of?
I'm sorry.
What plea does he enter?
Not guilty, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, the court will enter a scheduling order. Your next scheduled appearance before the court will be October 18th. If you're out on bond, it's at 8:30 in the morning. If you're not, we'll see you in the afternoon. And we also have a motion to reduce bond in each of these cases. So for that purpose, what say the parties?
State's ready.
Defense is ready, Judge.
All right, you may proceed.
Defense calls Sativa Gonzalez. Sativa, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have any video, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
There you are. Can you please raise your right hand? In the matter before the court, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Now we can't hear you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Oh, sorry. I said yes.
Okay, thank you very much. May proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Gonzalez, will you please repeat your name for the court?
Eva Gonzalez.
Okay, and what's your relationship to Stephen Gonzalez?
I am his wife.
And how long have you known him?
About 5 or 6 years.
Okay, when were y'all married?
June 2nd of this year.
Got it. How old is Stephen?
Steven's 22.
Okay. Has he ever been arrested for any adult crimes before this?
No.
Okay. Does he have any family that lives outside of Kirk County?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Does he have any transportation?
No.
Does he have a job?
No.
Does he have children?
No.
And what's been his living situation recently? Where has he been residing?
Both of us have been living with his parents.
How long has that been going on for?
I've been living with them for about a year.
Okay. Are you still living there?
No, I have my own apartment.
Okay. And if the judge agrees to reduce his bond or grant what's called a PR bond and he's released, would he be staying with you at that apartment?
Yes, he would.
Okay. And you and him would be the only two that are living there at the time, right?
Yes.
And do you foresee that changing?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Ask the witness, Judge.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Ms. Gonzalez, were you present on July 9th of 2021 when this event occurred that's made him be arrested?
Yes.
Okay. So you're familiar with the facts of that case?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm not going to go through much of the facts because we're not here to, in essence, try that case, but I just want to firm up that it's your understanding that he's been charged with assaulting his two parents?
Yes.
Okay. And that during that assault and when the police arrived, he held a knife to himself and was threatening to harm himself?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with regard to, and if I'm asking you something, while you were testifying, I was kind of looking at some other things, so I'm sorry if I'm a little repetitive, okay?
Okay.
Okay. If the judge were to reduce his bond and allow him to get out, where are you living with regard to how close are you to his parents' home?
I am on the complete opposite side of town from his parents.
Okay. Does he have a driver's license?
Yes.
Does he have access to a car when he gets out?
No.
Okay. Do you have a car?
No, I do not.
All right. And where do you work?
I work at Mini Mart at the moment.
And what mini mart is that?
The one on Sidney Baker, 1980 Sidney Baker Street.
Okay. Now you said at the moment, are you thinking about moving on to a different job, or is that just kind of the way you were saying it?
Yes, I'm looking for something closer because I have to walk to work every day.
I understand. Okay. Does Mr. Gonzalez need MHMR? Do you know what that? It's not called that anymore, but is he on any kind of mental health medication?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Does he have access? If he got out and was on bond, would he have access to get to the assessment center or wherever he needed to stay current on his medications and that kind of thing?
Yes, he would.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Just really quick, Judge. Sativa, are you at all concerned that he would try and make contact with his parents?
No.
And as far as his medication, do you know if he's been receiving his medication while he's in jail?
I believe he has been receiving one of them and then they switched him out onto another one, but he has not been on all of his medications since he's been in there.
Okay, pass the witness, Judge.
Just real quick, are you aware that there's a protective order that was issued by a local judge?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, do you know the parameters of that order and what he's supposed to do and not supposed to do with regard to that and his parents?
From what I understand, I believe he cannot contact them
Okay.
or be around them.
Right. And there's like a distance he can't be close to them and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. And if the judge were to have bond conditions that, ultimately sound something like, can't contact them, can't talk to them, can't go to their house, can't be within so many feet, all that kind of stuff, is that something that you would be in a position to help monitor that, or y'all's lie? In other words, are you working the night shift and sleeping during the day and he's going to be up during the day while you're sleeping, that kind of thing?
No, I am working a morning shift and he tends to sleep in the morning. So I'll be awake all the rest of the day.
Why would he need to leave the house for anything? He doesn't have a job. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a job. Where does he need to go if he needed to go anywhere?
I don't believe he'd really need to go anywhere. Maybe if we had to go to a store to get groceries, but we would go to one of the stores near me.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Additional questions?
No additional questions, Judge. I believe his mother's trying to log on right now to the Zoom app.
Okay, can you hear us?
We can.
Yes. Okay, hi. Yeah, okay. Okay,
You want to call additional witnesses?
Yes, Judge. Defense calls Jennifer Curry.
Ms. Curry, can you please raise your right hand?
yes, sir.
In the matter before the court, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Curry, thank you for logging on. Who is Stephen Gonzalez to you?
My son.
Okay. And you were there at the time of his arrest. It occurred at your home, correct?
Yes, sir. Can I have a water?
And how long has your son been living with you?
22 years.
Does he have the means or even the transportation to leave Kerr County?
At this particular time, he's been using our car for work and what have you. So no, I mean, the plan was to buy him a car pretty soon, but right now, no transportation to leave the county. Are you talking about for work or living or what?
Just in general. I mean, so you're telling me he doesn't have any transportation?
No, I mean, not that is his sole transportation. No, he's been using our car.
Okay.
We work the schedules.
And you and your husband are listed as the victims in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
If the judge agrees to release him before trial, do you have any fear for your safety?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay. And did you try to contact the court about him being released?
I sent a letter to lift the protective order that we had. And then, I'm sorry, what was the question again? I apologize.
Well, I guess that's part of it. I think you answered it. I mean, have you reached out to the court or anybody asking about your son's release?
Yes, I mean, I'm not sure which lawyer you are. I'm sorry, but I believe I've spoken to the DA and to Stephen's defense attorney, even though that could only be limited. Because we would like for him to be out and be getting the mental health treatment that he needs. So yes, that's what we're looking. And we wanted the protective order to be lifted. I started asking for that about a month ago, and I still really haven't gotten answers. So that's kind of where we are with that.
Okay, pass the witness, Judge.
Hey, Ms. Curry, this is Stephen Harple. I think we've talked on the phone.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Nice to see your face.
Thank you.
So you just said you had no concerns about him whatsoever in harming y'all.
Uh-huh.
I don't mean to go into the facts of that case, but
Right.
y'all did obviously have a scenario where you were in fear and you did call the police, right?
Correct. I mean, speaking for myself, I was in fear, but mostly I was in fear of where it was going to go as far as if he was going to think of trying to hurt himself. And the other reason that I would say that I am not concerned about having any issues of being scared is because now we'll be living in two different places. They will be set up in their own home, which they needed very much. And we're actually being our own home. So I think that will help quite a bit as well.
Now, you talked about how he had an arrangement where he was able to use y'all's car. I'm taking it
Yes.
that he'll no longer have that accessibility to your car. Are you still thinking of letting him have access to your car for certain needs?
Our plan is to still let him use the car as needed. Like when my husband would come home from work, that's when Stephen would go to work himself. So we were still going to do that. And then probably in about a month, try to purchase like a used car so that they have something, both of them, Stephen and his wife, have something that's solely theirs. So that was kind of our thinking.
Well, it sounds like to me, though, in order to have that as a potential plan, you'd have to contact him to make arrangements and possibly have physical contact with him to
Yeah.
exchange keys or something like that. So if
Yes,
the
sir.
court, if the court's concerned for you and your husband's safety, like I'm concerned, then it
Mhm.
may be that he offers no contact and therefore you can't arrange for him to have a car.
Okay.
Can you abide by that?
Yes, I mean, we'll do whatever we need to abide by, yes.
Okay. Because I mean, honestly, the whole context of this discussion about bond issues is primarily for your protection and then secondarily for his protection if he has suicidal tendencies or, mental health issues. You understand what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Oh, yes. Mhm.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions, Your Honor.
No further questions, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Do I
Ms.
just log
Thomas?
off? Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I log off now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How do I
Do you
get
have
out?
additional witnesses you'd like to call?
No, Your Honor.
State,
No witnesses from the state, Your Honor.
argument?
Your Honor, just briefly, we have somebody here who's younger, has some potential mental health issues, and I understand the circumstances of his case that they're listed as victims, but they're concerned for him and they're asking for him to come home. And I think they've went out of their way to rearrange their living situation to accommodate that. And I think it's best for everybody in this case that he's released on a PR bond.
Mr. Harpo?
I think I'm quibbling a little bit, but I don't think the idea is for him to come home to their house. If I'm understanding everything correctly, the idea would be that the defense is asking that he go to where his wife is in this apartment across town. The judge, I don't know that this came up, but I'm just looking at the offense report and just for the court's benefit, I believe that he's defendant is 21 years old. And that being said, I mean, this obviously occurred against his parents. They're our concern, and whatever the court deems to do, we would just ask that it be to just ensure that, number one, that he's not having contact with his parents, and then number two, that he gets the mental health issues or has to maintain currency in all his medications and stuff like that.
Okay, Give me just a moment, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm. Mr. Gonzalez, if I let you out of the county jail, are you going to be able to stay away from your mom and dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that means you can't have any contact with them. Don't call them to borrow the car or borrow a gallon of milk or anything else.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, what I'm going to do is reduce your bond on both cases to $20,000 PR bonds. You're going to be bonded out on your own recognizance. There's very specific bond conditions that go with these bonds. I do not want you to leave the jail until you've signed your bond conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could we freeze up? All right, do you have any questions?
I think I'm okay. So it's just the reducing, or is it a PR? I couldn't hear you, my bad.
No, the internet appears to be freezing up. It's going to be a PR bond, but there's very specific bond conditions that you cannot have any contact with your parents. You have to follow up with MHDD and make an appointment and take all your prescribed medications pursuant to the orders. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll see you in court on October 18th, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Not sure to what extent. There you go. Did you hear any of those orders for your client?
I did, Judge, a PR bond, and I heard that you mentioned that he's not permitted to leave the jail until he signs off on the bond conditions.
Correct. And he has to go to MHDD, make a follow-up appointment, and take all this prescription medication pursuant to orders.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You have anybody else to deal with today, or are you done?
Oh, I apologize, Judge. We're finished.
Super. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Halpo.
Nice seeing you.
William Roberts is next.
Judge, just an update on Mr. Roberts. In the last 30 minutes, I've had our office file waivers in both of these cases.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we don't need Mr. Roberts?
That's correct. We do not.
Okay. Thank you very much. And you're the man of the hour today, Joe. Thank you.
Just trying to keep everything in line, Judge. Just to be clear, that's William Roberts, not Clay Roberts, correct?
Right.
Okay, great.
That puts us on page 6 with Kennedy Martin. Mr. Reitmeyer, have you had a chance to talk to the PDO yet about Mr. Martin?
Judge, I spoke with Ms. McCollum a second ago, and I think my understanding, and I don't want to say this wrong, it's either way, if you wanted to appoint my case to the PDO or appoint their case to me.
Well, I think, weren't you trying to get out of having to come up to Kerr County?
Well, I was, yes.
Okay. Let's go the other way, and we'll point your case to the PDO.
Okay, Judge.
And Mr. Reitmeyer, if you'll just give me an invoice for whatever work you've done on the case and a order substituting, then I'll sign off on it and we'll get you paid. Okay.
Very well. I will get it to you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I be excused?
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge.
Do we need to call his other case at the same time, or just the one that's on here? I'm guessing he has a PDA, he has a FTA on the new case.
Judge, do you want Mr. Martin or do you want Mr. Williams?
We need Mr. Martin, please.
Okay, just a minute.
Lauren, do you know the new cause number for the FTA by any chance?
I believe it is, let me see if I have the right one. Nope, I just have the original cause number with FTA written out next to it.
Okay. We'll just call the original cause number and we'll deal with the FTA at another time then.
Okay. Thank you.
Or if y'all are going to take over and if he hadn't been arraigned, if you want to waive it, then we'll catch up.
Okay, we'll do that, Your Honor.
Judge, our office gave us the cause number for the FTA.
What is it?
B21558.
Thank you.
Gonna be damp.
How are you, Mr. Martin?
Good, you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Court will call cause number B20-555, the State of Texas versus Kennedy Martin. For purposes of pretrial, what say the parties?
State's ready.
Ms.
Could you hear
McCollum?
me? I'm sorry, can you hear me?
I can.
I'm sorry, state's ready.
I think we lost Lauren, maybe.
I'll jump back in,
It's
Judge.
ready, Your Honor. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Okay. Do we have any pretrial issues to address today?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would ask for an extra agreed setting if we can, since the case was just passed over to our office.
Sounds
Any
good to me.
objection?
No objection.
All right, the court will give you an additional pretrial on October 18th. In addition to that, Mr. Martin, there was some confusion as to whether Mr. Reitmeyer was going to stay on the failure to appear or not. Ms. McCollum has agreed to substitute in. So she'll be representing you on both of your cases, okay?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Because y'all are offering me 7 years probation,
You
right?
probably don't, wait, stop. Yeah, don't talk about the plea offer in front of me because I'm the last person that's supposed to know, okay?
My bad. I didn't know
Mr. Martin, I'll come see you.
that. Today or,
Probably not today, but I'll see you this week, okay?
okay, is there any way I can get my bond reduced or anything?
We will talk about all of that, okay? I'm gonna advise you not to say any more in front of the judge, okay?
Okay,
But I'll come and see you, okay?
yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Martin, we'll see you on October 18th. And when your attorney comes out to see us, she can answer all your questions, okay?
Sure.
Thank you, sir. It's I'm showing that's everybody, Stephen, unless you're showing somebody additional.
I showed that was it too, Judge.
All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for working with the jail to minimize the docket.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all so much.